Welcome coworkers to another salmon run tutorial video in our stage series, and with the release of the new map Jammin Salmon Junction, it is time to release our next guide to help you tackle some of the more difficult night waves, especially in freelance. So in this video we'll talk about the Griller Wave. The two night waves, Griller Wave and Glowfly Rush, are notoriously one of the main reasons people lose in salmon run, so some give up straight as they see them, but the good news is that Junction is actually a fairly good stage to win against these waves, and I'll show you multiple ways to do it. First, I'll show and demonstrate what I've seen people do in freelance. It's not a bad strategy to be fair, but definitely not the one I would recommend to learn and practice, but in case of a panic situation, it can still help stabilize really bad Griller waves. So the freelance method I've seen some players do is that whenever they are targeted, they climb onto the sideway on the right side of the basket. And if the griller is approaching from below, they splat them as they get closer, or if the grillers are coming from the opposite direction, the teammates can stun and splat them as they arrive. It's a fairly straightforward method. It's relatively safe since you are never in the way of grillers, unless you fail to splat them in time, and there's also a lot of room for errors and to move around in case you mess up. The only part that's a bit challenging is I think this way, small fries are going to be a lot more annoying since they will attack the people who are responsible for stunning the grillers, and they are already one man short since the person on the highway can't really help much. So this method is almost like clinging with glowflies. It works, it's reliable, but the team is overall weaker, so quota can be a problem. The actual strategy I recommend is really similar but works a lot better, and it's essentially the same strategy that you're supposed to use on spawning grounds Griller Wave, if you still remember that one. This one requires a bit more perception from the players who are tagged, as you will have to move depending on where the grillers are coming from, but the position we take is on the platform behind the basket, as it's a good place to stun grillers, and the eggs will be right next to the basket, so collection should also not be a problem, unless it is high tide where you have to use specials anyway or start luring grillers away to be able to collect your golden eggs. Just like on spawning grounds, if the grillers are coming from the safe direction, which is from the right here, the whole team simply stuns and splats the griller right in front of the basket, then collect eggs. Easy as pie. Remember that at least one player should focus on small fry duty, as splatting these lesser salmonids is one of the key aspects to having smooth griller waves. Now the slightly tricky part is when grillers arrive from the left side. In this case, the targeted player should jump down on the right of the platform and wait until the griller passes the basket, at which point you just jump back onto the platform, and as the griller turns around, the whole team is right there to stun and splat them, just like you do on spawning grounds. And if the team is good, they can also do the stun as the griller passes the basket from the left side, but that is quite unnecessary. The reason I really like this position is that in the difficult case that more than one grillers arrive, the basket area is really crowded, and you can use the traffic jam to your advantage, as if you stun a griller, the next griller cannot move past them while they are there. So stunning the first griller, then focusing on the second one instead of splatting the first griller, will allow you to safely handle both of them without any risk to your team whatsoever. Looks easy, right? It really is. Unless a player is bad at noticing they're targeted, in which case things can go really bad really fast. But that should be a minimal task to learn and practice, so make sure you always know if you are the targeted player. As I said, this also works very well on high tide, but since it can be really crowded really fast, it is recommended to use specials around the end to stun grillers early and allow your team to collect those golden eggs, or alternatively you can lure them away to allow your teammates to collect meanwhile. But that is the core essence of how to deal with Griller Wave on Jammin Salmon Junction, coworkers. Hope the tutorial was easy to understand and fun, and if you have any questions, make sure to ask them in the comment section below, along with further tips if you have any of those. If you'd like to see more guides and tutorials, subscribe to the channel, as there's a guide for almost everything in Salmon Run. But it is a wrap for now. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and supporting the channel. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you the next time.